Deanna's not going to be here? Doesn't have to be.
I'm gonna Blake, if you don't mind, man, because I would probably not be very good at that.
Thank you, Blake. Did she say we were ready, or when I was talking? I'm sorry.
Not yet. We got to wait to post
Okay.
the link online. We'll let you know.
Thank you.
We're
You're
live
welcome.
streaming. You just got to post a link online so everybody can see it.
I sent you the link, Tracy.
All right. It just came through. Give me a sec to go post it. All right. I got to post it. Just let me go verify that it's working. Respiratory therapy, live stream here. You good to go?
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All righty. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please know any comments by the public are welcome and can be emailed to publiccomment@lsbme.la.gov. I guess Tracy, is Jacinda on the call, or?
I'm here.
Hey, Jacinda, please confirm you verify the identity of all tele and video conference participants.
I have.
Is the sound clear and audible to the public and those on tele and video conference?
Yes, it is.
All additions to the executive or public agenda must be made presently, as we will no longer make additions to the agenda after the close of the public session. Is there anything anybody would like to add to the agenda? Okay. Is there any public comment, Dr. Van?
Not at this time, sir.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do a roll call. Okay, Sheila Guidry,
Here.
Jim Lonahan,
Here.
Blake Nolan,
Here.
Michael Nolan,
Here.
Raymond Peasany, present. Brett Stafford,
Here.
Dr. Hugo, he's absent. Diana Marandino, she's absent. Do we have a quorum, Blake? Do we have 6?
We do have 6. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item 1 under the public session minutes from our previous meeting. Everybody had a chance to review that?
I have a question.
Yes.
Am I missing it, or was there not 2 items in executive session? I don't.
One of them turned out not to be for us. One of them was for a rad tech, not a respiratory therapist.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. That's true. Okay. I apologize. My memory. Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yeah, but we
from
did have
someone?
2 on the agenda.
Yes. So would someone entertain a motion to accept the minutes?
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Mike, do I have a second by Blake? Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, move on to item 2, the 4-strike rule. Dr. Van, do you have any update on that from the board?
Yes, the president has said we can implement the 4-strike as long we can go beyond the 4-strike rule if they're a Louisiana resident, went to Louisiana school, and they're going to practice in Louisiana.
Good.
But what we have a number of, Raymond, and I'll just tell you, is we have a number of people who have no intention of ever coming to Louisiana, but will ask us as Louisiana to sponsor them for past 4 strikes. And that's what we don't do in the physicians, and we don't do it for anybody else. But we are making the exception for Louisiana people, Louisiana trained. They're going to practice in Louisiana for doctors, and we're doing it across the board now.
Thank you, Dr.
So-
Van. Is there, does anybody else have any comment on that?
I have a question. So does that mean that people who have exceeded their 4-temp rule that are Louisiana residents, went to Louisiana school, that they can now be presented to the advisory committee for consideration? Is that
correct?
okay? Okay.
Any
Well,
other questions?
is this something that we're gonna change in the rules? And so that wouldn't go into effect until all the rules are done? Or do you
No,
want,
this is just an operational change for the people from Louisiana. But if you think we need to make it a rule change, I'm happy to make it a rule change.
I mean, we're going through the rules, while we're at it. So like, this is the time to do it. I would think.
Trust your legal advice on it, Lauren. If you think the rules need to be changed, let's do it.
I'll try to see where it is in here. I'll look at it. Y'all continue.
I think page
Okay.
9.
Okay, we'll further discuss that once we get there, because there's only a couple of more items on the agenda before we move on to the rules. We'll go to item number 4, compact licensure. I think Sheila, you had some questions on that at our last meeting.
I did. It was for Dr. Van. I think he had a problem with them not requiring background checks.
Well, some states will not do background checks.
Mhm.
And some states are being limited by the FBI. So there is a mishmash of some states that will do background checks and some that won't. I cannot license somebody in Louisiana if they don't have a criminal background check that clears. I mean, you cannot volunteer at a school in Louisiana without getting a criminal background check. You can't coach a team for kids if you don't get a criminal background check. So if we were to waive the requirement for criminal background checks on the compact, we would be subverting the intent of the legislature. And I'm just a little bit afraid of going there.
Okay, so is it possible that we join the compact and still require a background check when we go to the legislature for it?
Okay, yes, here's what we're going to have to do. And I will tell you that the legislators have finally woken up to what these compacts do.
Mhm.
And there was a compact that was vetoed by the governor this past session. What happens is the compact says things like the compact will supersede state law. And when we first talked to them about that, they didn't seem to bother. Oh no, it's not going to do anything about state law. But every time the compact makes a rule, it has the effect of law in Louisiana. So I can't make a rule that has the effect of law, but they can.
Mhm.
So it's what's beginning to happen is compacts are beginning to be recognized for not necessarily doing what legislators want. The goal of compacts, so that you get the history, is to get the compacts are being sponsored by the Department of Defense.
Correct.
The Department of Defense wants compacts so that when the military member gets TDY'd to Louisiana for a year or two, we can promptly get those people licensed and working so that they can support the member in the military and their family. Well, we did that long before compacts came around. We have a provision in all of our licensing practices that we give preferential treatment to military. We do a quick cursory check to make sure they're licensed somewhere else in good standing, their criminal background check, give them a provisional license, and we chase the paper afterwards and convert them when we get all the paper done. So we actually make provisions for them to work before we complete the regular licensing thing out of respect for what their spouse is doing in service to our country. And that was actually an act passed by Representative Chuck Owen in 2019. And we made those exemptions under the act to do that for that group of people. We ask everybody who applies, are they military dependent, are they personally on active military duty, that kind of stuff. So we bring them to the front of the list, we get them a provisional tag. Now, the compact continues to do that, and more and more state legislators are getting involved in the problems with the compact. So I can tell you right now that the DOD is somewhat duplicitous in this, because there is something called the SHARE Act. As you just alluded to, the beginning of this discussion was about criminal background checks. And the FBI has been very reluctant to share data or allow licensing boards to share data on criminal background checks. So if you were unless you give us a specific authorization to do so. And for example, what happens is if we issue a letter of qualification in the compact for physicians, we say that these people have a criminal background check that is cleared at this time. And that's all we say. We don't give them the details. But apparently newer states are being told they can't even do that. They have not told us we can't. And the physicians compact is functioning fine. The newer compacts are running into problems because either their states never did it, their licensing boards never did it, or the FBI is telling them they can't share. And so the SHARE Act is in Congress as it speaks, but the DOD is not supporting the SHARE Act, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I'm just a gynecologist, so I can't figure out what the DOD is going to do, that's for sure. So what we would have to do is, if the compact gets enacted and they can't pass a criminal background check, we would do it in the background after they get their permit or their license, but then we'd have to take it because they no longer qualify because they don't have a clear criminal background check. And at that point, unfortunately, it would be a reportable event to the NPDB. So I'm going to suggest to you all, when you all talk to your association, look beyond the glitz and glamour of what the compact can do and look at what it does buried in the fine print, and make sure that they're prepared to answer those questions and the legislators are going to have, because we're going to have to tell.
And I will share with the committee, I'm not going on behalf of the LSBME. I'm going on behalf of the LSRC. They're sending me to the Interstate Compact Licensure Summit in Washington on September the 19th. So I will be there, listening to what they present and see, what we need to move forward to. And I'll be interested, to share some of Dr. Collada's comments with them as well.
Well, they know, because I was on the rules committee for the very first time. Yeah. So they know what we feel in Louisiana very clearly. And I will tell you that the other thing that's happening is some of the other more advanced compacts that are not completely up and running yet are doing things like they want every licensed member in the class of license to send all of their administrative data with social security number and everything else up to the compact so it stays in their database. And we are prohibited by law from doing that. Under the law, I'm told by our IT people that we can only send an individual. We can't send groups of social security numbers, and we have to do it in a secure system. So that's why we are being pushed. We're pushing, and the compact for OTs has moved to our way of thinking. They're doing what's called an API. And all of the other compacts are moving to these advanced APIs, which are advanced program interfaces. And what they literally do is they let the computers of each organization talk to one another in the background or at night. And the data fields that they need, and only the data fields that they need, are sent back and forth. So either the incoming are sent to us or the outgoing are sent to them. And basically what happens is we only limit the data we send that is necessary for the granting of the compact license / privilege, depending on what model you use. And it's only done because you want it, and that way we don't risk losing the data or having somebody have a data breach that we had no control over because we sent all of your data to the compact and it got hacked. Because that's going to be a burden on y'all, and we don't want to do that to y'all. Plus, it's against state law.
So Dr. Van, if we do pass compact licensure in Louisiana for respiratory, do we have to have a different set of rules and regs, or they will follow the rules and regs that we have in place already?
No, they will have their own rules and regs, change them whenever they do, and we have no choice but to follow them. That's why I think that they're beginning to wake up that can happen, and that's why I think the dietary compact got vetoed by the governor.
Okay. All right. Is there any other questions on compact licensure that anybody has? Okay. Blake, can you add Dr. Ugo to the attendance, please? He's joined us. Before we get into the rules, I want to go back into the minutes, and I forgot to bring this up earlier. Dr. Van, did we find out anything with CE Broker that was brought up at last meeting about doing an audit or what of some
Yes.
sort?
They've done an initial cursory audit, found nothing. We're going to do a deeper audit. They are bringing online the AI stuff that will recognize a document as opposed to a picture. But again, at the present time, they did a small percentage and found no evidence. And I think at this point in time, unless you want to press on because you have some, again, I don't want to, look, we get a good deal with CE Broker. They've done some work for us. I don't know that I want to go beyond that. If you want us to do it, we'll do it. But I think they found nothing. And I think as they bring we can do more effective 100% once we get the AI, they get their AI working. And I think, but again, unless you have more than just a rumor, I think we ought to let it sit at that. But if you want to press it, we will.
Is the committee good with just staying where we are? And if we find anything else out, then we can press on for more information? I think so. Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
y'all.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. We can move to the rules where we left off the last time, or Miss or Lauren, do you want to do?
Ms. Lauren, I'm gonna
where
let
do you
you
want to
share.
start?
I'm gonna stop sharing, Ms. Lauren. I'll let you share.
Alrighty, I'll share right now.
And just
Can
so
you see
you
the
know that there's
screen?
no
Let me
public
make it
comment.
larger.
A little bit larger.
So here's that restriction on the examination where we got rid of the 4 times and put the board will recognize the standards of testing, restrictions, and limitations by the NBRC. There's nothing in this right now that has anything to do with residency, like whether they're a Louisiana resident. I know that we had talked about that in a different rule. That would be something that, is definitely going to have to go for review by the Attorney General. I mean, all of this will, but that might be something that they kind of.
Now, the NBCRT does not have any limit on the number of takes. So I just want to tell you that, okay? So if you want to put a limit like we do for the docs, say so. If you want to leave it like this, say so. We're just not going to license somebody until they get their certificate. As we're moving away from temporary licenses, except in crisis and emergency, nobody's going to get it anyway. So it's up to you all how you want to do it.
Any discussion on that? I'm in favor of doing away with the 4-strike rule. And
Yeah, same here.
I agree.
Agreed here.
now the only thing under here, limitations on the respiratory therapy registry exam. It's not the registry exam. Help me out, Blake.
It's the therapist multiple choice exam.
Is that what it's called? Do you think it's always going to have that name?
No.
Like,
So now there's a singular credentialing exam called the therapist multiple choice, and whether you're registered or certified is based on your cut score achieved on that singular exam.
And they're all through the NBRC.
Correct.
Yes.
So do we want to just do it on the examination administered by the NBRC? That way,
Yeah.
as far as they over it,
You don't have to worry about it.
yes,
Yes.
just not name it. Okay. Well, where do y'all want to start? So we had done the bottom. This is where we
I
left
think
off.
you were going to look at something that I don't remember that we were going to put in for something the physicians, the way it was worded.
And I'm so sorry. I did not circle back on that. That's totally my fault.
And which one was that?
I did not do the rules in between. I can look at them real quick and see, but that was on my list and I totally just spaced until now about that. So I'm really, really sorry on that. So these might have to wait until next month.
I think we reached we had concluded everything except for a few fill-ins.
I think so too.
I have a question about something.
Yes.
Okay, Sheila.
Okay. It's on page 17 where we spoke about the acronyms and adding those to section 2503 under our definitions.
Right.
Okay. Did we put somewhere APRT, the respiratory new advanced practice respiratory therapist?
No.
I'm not seeing it anywhere.
No. So do we want to add that to the definitions?
Do y'all think, Raymond? I mean, it's a
I
new.
mean, who's the credentialing body for APRT? Does NBRC give another exam for APRT?
They have not developed an exam for the
Yeah.
APRT.
Okay.
Do you think that's something that's emerging that they will develop? Or
Yes.
It is emerging. Ohio has some methodology for getting them in, and they work in the VA currently.
so I just Googled and it says the advanced practice respiratory therapist is trained to provide a scope of practice exceeding an RRT, having earned a Bachelor of Science and obtained the NBRC credential. The aspiring APRT must complete a COARC accredited graduate level education and training that prepares graduates to provide diagnostic and therapeutic clinical. It doesn't say that they have like any sort of testing to get that after.
Yeah, that testing that they're referring to is just the RRT credential from the NBRC. And I think, I mean, so that is essentially a mid-level, like a, nurse practitioner or nurse anesthetist or physician assistant. And I know that might be tricky when it comes to state law. So is that something we want to hold off on putting in for right now?
I think so.
Yeah, if it's going to creep onto other people's, territories.
Yeah, because I know we're pretty strict on defining, who does and does not practice, within our various practice acts. So until they're, somewhere in there, I think it might be best to leave them out of ours for now.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I just wanted to bring it up, see what we wanted to do with it at this point.
Well, it would be great. I think if we could add them in there, if the NBRC was given an exam for them, but they're still in the process of doing the job analysis and all the background stuff before they implement this type of testing.
Correct. And the other thing was to add in that list of CRNA, PA, and APRN under on page 17 where we question, can see, blah, 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 it says ARPN. I just want to make sure that those acronyms are APRN.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was just a typo. I think that was
Yeah.
left over from one of the 2018 or the 2019s.
Yeah, I just want to make sure when they're added under the definitions that it's the correct acronym.
We still want that, right? We're not going to change anything about that. Because I think we have them here. Physician, certified nurse, registered nurse, anesthetist, advanced APRN and or PA.
Yeah, remember last time, remember I looked it up and under advanced practice registered nurse, it lists all of those under there, CRNA, APRN, PA, etc.
Mhm.
So do we want to
So-
take out the list or do we want to enumerate them?
An educational track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Make sure on this one, just to make it. Okay, perfect. And then I'm so sorry, guys, about that. The other stuff that we're researching, I completely spaced on it. So I'll make sure to have that for August, or if it's just the little things I can maybe get with Raymond in between the meeting on it.
Okay. Do we have anything else highlighted in there that we were going to review for this one?
Don't think so.
So what I would like to suggest, if there's nothing else, is that once we get a clean version, that it be, with all the scratch outs and all that, it'd be sent out for everybody to review prior to our next meeting.
Absolutely. So I'll adopt all the changes and that way we'll send out both the red line and the clean version so you can see where we made all the changes. But just keep in mind that in between the meetings, y'all can't have like an email chain or any discussions about it because that can be a walk-in quorum. So keep any discussions, less than a quorum and, really just wait for the actual meeting.
Okay.
And then I think after that, they can go to probably the September board meeting and then start the process. And then, by spring, they'll be in effect.
Okay, Lauren, when do you expect that you could have this out to the committee by?
Probably next week.
Okay.
Yeah, that won't take long. So that'll give y'all time to look at it, give a few weeks to look at it before the August meeting.
Okay.
You have no public
Well,
comment.
Thank you, sir. The August meeting was scheduled for August the 19th, but I went ahead and canceled that meeting. I'm going to be out of town, and I was advised by the LSBME that Dr. Collada and Ms. Johnson will be out of town as well. So, 26. Do y'all want to look at doing it on August the 26th if the board's available, having a meeting, or September?
I'm unavailable the 26th.
Okay.
I'm clear on the 26th.
Looks good for me as well.
Same for me as well.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Jacinda, can you check and see if that's a good date for the LSBME?
Yes, we can do the 26th.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the 26th at noon.
I'll send out the invite.
All righty, does anyone have any other comments? Because that's all I have on the agenda.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that will be unfortunately after the August meeting. Okay, just so you'll know, the August meeting, the board will be on the 25th and y'all meet on the 26th.
So are we in conflict with the board, Doctor, or do
No,
you
you're
want
not
us to
in
move the
conflict with
date?
them at all.
Okay,
But
I
it
think
will-
that's good because that way, if we do make any final changes to the rules, we'll have a little bit of time to, get them in tip-top shape and work out any kinks for the September meeting.
okay.
okay, I have a question. I'm still not clear on this for attempt rule. Is this effective immediately, or is this effective at the point of rule change that a applicant that lives in Louisiana, that went to school in Louisiana, that has exceeded the for attempt rule can be considered? Is that effective immediately, or is that at the point of a rule change?
There are two discussions going on, Ms. Phyllis. One is procedurally at this time, 4 is the rule, but we are exempting the Louisiana applicant, Louisiana school practicing in Louisiana past that. The new rule change will not have anything about 4, and it'll be whenever they pass the NBRC exam, whether it takes them 22 times, whether they're coming from Las Vegas, whether they're never going to practice in Louisiana, it doesn't matter. This is the way they're changing the rule.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? All righty, well, I appreciate everybody's time and effort on these rules and regs and our other business. And I'll give you back some of your time today. And we'll see everybody on the 26th.
And you have no
All right.
public
Aye.
comment at this time.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Everyone have a great day.
All
Can
right,
I have a
good
motion to
one.
adjourn?
So move.
Adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks
Thank
for all
y'all.
you've done to do this. We appreciate all your help and input.
Thank you, Doctor.